All right, looks like we are live for Fireside Chat number 115. I want to double check the number here actually. I'm not 100% sure I did actually export last week's here. Looks like I did, yeah, 114 5 days ago. Cool, okay. So, as far as stuff going on this week, pretty quiet. We're really winding down here on the Festival of Hope that's been going on this month. Shout out to Kusiag. I saw doing fireside chat summaries and posts in the archives. I really appreciate you starting that up again. Um, yeah, it's been pretty slow. Let me take a look through some recent events here. My usual venues, announcements, all thing. Let's see. Oh, I did make a new Fireside attendees role, so let's ping that. Well, there we go. And, yeah, if you do want that role, let me know. I posted that in all thing too, but, oh, Steiner's already here. Nice. Um, but yeah, if anybody would like that, just because maybe they don't look at events, they want to get that notification or something like that, so they can hop on. Feel free, you can definitely do that. Um, Other than that, let's see here. Not a lot as far as all thing or announcements. I did want to really encourage people, without just like calling everybody out or complaining too much here. I really want to encourage our officers to participate in the all thing because I really frequently post stuff in there, and I understand not everyone is going to have an opinion or input on it, but even just saying that actually would be nice and better than just not saying anything at all, because looking through the all thing, it's a pretty consistent pattern here for a lot of stuff. Not going to say all the time. I know some people are on LOA or whatnot, but there's a pretty consistent pattern of um, I post something that I'm working on, or an idea, or a question, and nobody responds, or like one person responds. There's some people like Steiner and Kusiag who I see either putting a ton of work into just replying to that stuff or giving input, or doing other stuff too. I know we have a lot of officers hosting events or just trying to get discussion going. Um, that's all really appreciated, and I'm not trying to diss anybody, but I would appreciate more input in the all thing, especially after we had uh, argument discussion question mark conversation. Not that long ago, a few weeks back, people talking about wanting to be able to give input or being blindsided by things. And really, the venues are here. And in many ways, the all thing is really where this stuff gets laid out. And while I am the ultimate authority in terms of making decisions, I've just my leadership style. I think I'm super open, more open than anyone has ever been leading WA. Um, I would say that's pretty accurate as far as sharing what I'm working on and asking for input on stuff. And I do that all the time. And as you can see in the all thing, usually it's just kind of met with silence from a lot of people. And like I said, I mean, maybe you don't have an opinion on it, that, or you just think whatever whatever I post, you're like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I like that, right? But I would appreciate people at least just sending a message saying, sure, whatever. If I post something, hey, I'm thinking of doing this, and you just post, yeah, whatever. That seems fine. I don't see a reason that. I mean, that's much appreciated, just to show for me to feel like people are watching and listening, and reading the messages in the all thing, which is required of everyone who has an officer rank. And yeah, I think it's just important because eight heads are better than one, and having everyone's input, or at least most people's input, would be much better. And obviously, if people have their own thoughts and ideas, they can certainly share those out of the blue. I think there's kind of an effort to not have the all thing turn into walls of text all the time, like it has at some points in our history. but that we certainly don't have that problem right now, and I definitely would appreciate just more yeah, more responses to some stuff I post in the all thing. And part of it too is that as officers, you're kind of representing your war band in the all thing. Basically, it's not like a democratic system where you everyone votes in your war band, and then you're the electoral college here in the all thing. We're the electoral college, and you're you know you're an elector, and you're supposed to take their vote or cast it or something like that. No, but obviously you're welcome to communicate things in the all thing. There is some. This is something I should look through the rules to see our exact language on it right now, but there's generally in the past been a sense that things in the all thing stay in the all thing. But if it's something like a rule we're considering or something that's going to affect war bands, I definitely think that talking to the people in your war bands about it and getting their thoughts, if they have any, is a good idea. So I would say that as everyone in the all thing is a warband leader or is helping to lead their warband, it's important to um, have active participation in the all thing because you're representing your warband, and I think you owe it to your warband essentially to participate in the discussion and make sure that their interests are represented to some reasonable degree. So anyway, that's rant TLDR. Just would like to see more responses in the L thing to my topics. Obviously, I'd always like to see more people tuning into Fireside and stuff like that. But people are gonna watch VODs and stuff like that. There's not a good way to keep track of that. I'm not too concerned with that, but I do think that if you want to know what's happening in WA, you should definitely take the time to listen to Firesides because I'm certainly not. I'm not going to put in announcements everything that I talk about in Fireside because it can be a lot of stuff, and oftentimes it's things that are they clue you in to specifics of what's going on in WA, but maybe aren't important enough to have a giant, server-wide announcement about. So I definitely encourage that, and if people, as I've talked about previously, if people are like, oh, how do I get my voice heard or whatever, there's so many venues. And on the one hand, you want to know what's happening in WA. There's announcements, there's Fireside, and there should be talking to your officers, who then should be talking to me in the all thing. And that's kind of how the whole chain of command deal works. But there's also, I mean, I'm pretty open in terms of people just messaging me or pinging me about stuff. As I've been encouraging people with the RLE, and if anyone is curious with the RLE, you need to ping me when you want to take it. I've had a lot of people message or ping me and say, hey, are you going to be around tomorrow? And I'm like, yeah. And then they don't ping me or whatever, which is fine. If you change your plans, you don't need to inform me or something. But what you should do is when you are online and ready, because you're the one that would want to study for it or whatever, ping me or ping Solite. Right now, we're the two people who are lesson exam proctors. Again, would love to see more lesson exam proctors. If any of the people who, especially who already have passed it with a 95%, want to try to do that again and then they can then teach the exam. I'd love that to have some more. A good like half dozen or something would be awesome. Add a lot of flexibility, but yeah. Anyway, long story short, if you want to take it, just ping one of us, like when you want to take it, and then we'll hop on ASAP if we can. But definitely really need everyone to take it. There's not been too much participation. There's been some, but considering everyone Berserker Plus needs to take it and at least pass it, depending on your rank, you might need to score higher. Well, really, it's just if you're Berserker, you need to pass it with 80%. If you're Huskarl or higher, you need to pass it with 95%. There's 3 versions of the test, so you can take it 3 times, each with a different version, and all you have to do is get that score 1 time. So it's pretty doable. It's really not that hardcore. I am locking rules and monolith during the test, but obviously people can take notes or whatever. It's not supposed to be some sort of crazy thing, but the goal is to be that you have some basic understanding of information about the clan and how to recruit, and that you can where to look for that information as well if it escapes you in the moment or something like that. which makes a great deal of sense for a clan looking to be selective and looking to introduce people that fit with what we're going for. So yeah, there's a little bit of ranting to make up for the fact that there's not a lot of announcements specifically. As far as stuff going on this week, I think, let me look through my to-do list real quick here. We had some ideas that were shared. I think these were shared in the previous Court of the High King. So I'll just echo those ideas from Kusiag and Steinier, I believe. Let's see. One idea I had was whether or not everyone should have access to all of the game channels and or all of the warband channels, which is kind of a thought I had looking back at our forums where we had specific subforums for games and everyone could see them. You'd have certain people who would post in them, but everyone could see them. So, yeah, that was kind of a thought I had, and I'm kind of still curious about that. I might post that in Althing or something like that, or I don't know if I post that in quests. I don't think so. No, I might post that. If you haven't heard about the quest channel, it's under WAS Conqueror. It's basically a to-do list slash what's in the works right now in terms of ideas and stuff like that. So it's a cool way to check out yet another way you can kind of get a good idea of what's going on in WA and also help out with stuff. You can, like it says in the channel, you can message me about anything that you want to assist with. Actually, I should add that in the channel. Let's do that right now. There we go. All right, so I posted that, and then let me see. I'll post that little idea there too. Okay, so that gives a little bit. I just added the description, made it a pinned message in there too, so people can see. But the idea is the quest channel is a great way to get noticed for promotions as well as just help out if you want to. Other ideas that were brought up, possibly writing some kind of stories, accounts, WA games, and events, something that was really encouraged with the warband codexes that never really happened. But if anybody wants to do that, as was, I think, brought up, totally, that's awesome. I think adding more to our lore universe and just our sort of our tradition of songs and storytelling and stuff is always super cool, whether it doesn't matter what it's about. House wars on demand was brought up. The idea that a house could challenge another house or propose a house war. That seems like a cool idea too. I'd like to work that into the official language of a rulebook. So that's something I'm looking at. Let me see. I posted officer guide. I see here in the quest channel. So that was something I thought perhaps it would be a good idea to write a guide that specifically tells you how to do everything you need to be doing as an officer and maybe lists everything you need to be doing. So it's easy to reference if for people who maybe don't have as good of a memory for that kind of thing. You've got the templates for the reports, but maybe going a bit further beyond and telling you, giving you a good idea of when do I need to post a report, when do I need to post roll call, like a kind of in a timeline form maybe, but also lists specifically how to do things like another idea I had was some kind of more specific officer duties, and I was kind of thinking about whether this should be a specific duty. Like, one thing I think is stirring up conversation in channels, and something a lot of people are already doing, which is, and I am realizing it's actually much more valuable than I may have realized. It's just somebody even saying something like hello, every once in a while, or good morning or something in a channel is actually a really good idea. And I think adding that, whether it's as a duty or incorporated into night orders, maybe things like that, I think is a really good idea. I think in the modern Discord age, getting conversations started in channels is like the core of activity in the clan. So that's another idea I had. We're kind of running quite a bit of time here, so probably wind things down pretty soon. Just double checking if there's anything else I didn't go over. Quest is pretty self-explanatory. I think I went over most of this stuff last week, I believe. If anyone has questions about anything in the channel, obviously, ping or message me as well. Officers are welcome to post there any projects they are working on or want help with. And let's see. Yeah, I think that is about it. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything glaring I would need to announce, so I think we'll go ahead and end Fireside there and move on to Court of the High King here pretty soon. Yeah, I believe we'll be back on the normal time next week for Fireside at 5 p.m. Pacific with Court afterwards, so we'll see everybody then.